Now, shifting the focus to single-parent households, also known as lone parent households. Recent research and the increase in individuals turning to essential services for help reveals that lone parent households are being hit hard by the pandemic. In a recent CBC News article, Elaine Balsam, the executive director of the Single Parent Association of Newfoundland, stated how food insecurity is the biggest concern for single parents in Newfoundland and Labrador. Balsam also discussed how, prior to the COVID-19 pandemic, the association would provide 125 small food hampers a month to families in need. But the association provides now 150 large food hampers per month. The association has also had an increase in requests for help, rising from 3 inquiries per day pre-pandemic to about 5 a day post-pandemic. A 2016 Statistics Canada report in Newfoundland and Labrador revealed that 23% of children under the age of 14 live in single-parent households. Food insecurity is greatly impacted by job loss, and recent data by the National Statistics Office revealed that in April, Newfoundland and Labrador had an unemployment rate of 16%, with 29,000 jobs lost. The impact of COVID-19 on single parents is not only happening in Canada, but globally as well. A recent article by The Guardian featured research by the Institute for Social and Economic Research at the University of Essex. This research revealed that household incomes have fallen disproportionately, affecting single parents and Black, Asian, and ethnic minorities, the hardest in comparison to white two-parent households. In the UK, the acronym BAM stands for Black, Asian, and Ethnic Minorities. The Institute's study found that in 44% of non-BAM individuals whose working hours have been reduced, only 7% became unemployed as a result of the pandemic. In contrast, in 31% of BAM individuals whose working hours were reduced, a staggering 20% have become unemployed due to COVID. Under the pandemic, non-BAM household earnings on average fell from £541 to £503 a week. But BAM household earnings on average fell from £441 to £401 a week. Non-single parent household earnings on average fell from £511 to £475 a week. And single parent household earnings on average fell from $326 to just £253 a week. Joe Richardson, Research Policy Officer at Gingerbread, a charity that supports single-parent families, described COVID-19's impact as a triple penalty, as parents were already facing other hardships. In the article, Richardson explains that prior to COVID-19, quote, almost half of single parents were in poverty, and adds that the pandemic has meant many of these families have faced indescribable hardships on a day-to-day basis. It is not uncommon for single parents to have to choose between feeding themselves or feeding their children. It is really that stark, unquote. If you're interested in learning more about the effects of COVID-19 on single parents, you will have the opportunity to do so in the discussion, where you can do some research and share resources with others in this class. Earlier, we spoke a little bit about this idea of chosen families. Chosen families being people that we choose to be in our inner circle. But we haven't touched on individuals who have recovered or are still recovering from the COVID-19 virus, and how this has impacted their relationships with their families and friends. Teen Vogue came out with an interesting article by Fiona Lowenstein, who started the Body Politic COVID-19 support group after contracting the virus. Body Politic is a queer feminist wellness collective merging the personal and the political. In the article, Lowenstein describes how she had trouble connecting with friends whilst recovering from COVID, as they didn't fully understand the severity of the virus and the slow recovery. After sharing her story online, other people began to share their own recovery stories, which led to the creation of Body Politic, co-founded along with a friend and a colleague who also contacted the virus. The article also features other individuals who discuss how family and friends tried to undermine the severity of their illness. and how survivors felt gaslit. Also, the article discusses how patients found that the recommendations to video chat and exercise as part of their recovery were extremely difficult due to shortness of breath and fatigue. The support group offers a space where patients were able to find a sense of belonging and kinship through mutual experience. And one individual even referred to the group as their family. According to Body Politic, there are currently 14,000 members who are able to communicate with small groups in Slack, with different discussions or channels focusing on specific topics, such as those symptomatic for 30+ days or 90+ days, those recovering from being on ventilators, to those who are taking care of sick friends or relatives, and many more. Here you can find more information about this COVID-19 support group, including the link to the website wearebodypolitic.com/COVID-19.